Hey guys, what's going on? This is Cletus, and we're gonna be going over a Wuthering Waves beginner's guide. Before we get into the content, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll go ahead and jump right into this here in just a second. All right. So if you're new to Wuthering Waves, there's quite a bit of information and stuff that you uh we'll be getting into here. And one of the most important things when you're beginning is you're going to have these events. You're going to want to come in here and make sure that you're logging in every day, getting these events done. Um, this Echo Hunter one, you just go in here and you collect as many echoes as you can, and we'll get into echoes here in a minute. But uh, this right here is gonna be real cool. It's gonna give you some these gems right here, and these gems are gonna allow you to summon on characters and unlock a bunch of other things. So it's gonna be real interesting once you start getting a bunch of these gems and seeing what you can do with them. Now, another thing I want to get into here is your union level. And basically what you want to do is you want to get in here and complete as much of this union level as you can. Right now on my main account, I'm about level 35, but we spend a little bit of money over there, so you can see why we're at level 35. But I think the doable is 25 for most players, and it'll get you these real nice summons that you can do, and also a couple of stamina refreshes. We'll get into that there in a little bit. And then the next one is going to be your ass right. Yeah, that's right. Your ass right is going to be used to get you to be able to summon. So make sure you get as much ass right as you can. And then this last thing is your voyage's beginning. This will tell you everything that you need to complete, up to complete most of these events. And you really want to get this done because you get a couple good characters for free, a couple 4-star characters, and then once you get to Union level 45, you'll unlock a 5-star weapon selector. And what this will do is it'll allow you to pick which one of these weapons, that 5-star that you can get, and most of these are pretty good, so you're gonna wanna get this as soon as you can. Up next, we're gonna go over your store, alright? So store, usually means that you're gonna be spending a lot of money. However, uh, a lot of players don't like to spend money. I like to spend money just to get characters, but I don't really care about maxing, uh, their, their, um oh god, what are they called? What are they called, Nate? Oh yeah, they're called constellations or something in this one. Um, but basically, this is your monthly pass. You can get this about $5. This is a pretty good purchase if you are going to be spending a little bit of money in this game. It's a pretty good purchase. For your bundles, I don't really recommend any of these bundles. They're not too hot, not too good. These level ups though, these ones will become free once you hit specific levels. So once you get to level 10, you'll get one. And once you get to level 20, you'll get one, level 30, and so on, man. And these offer quite a bit. Like you'll get some more summons here. You'll get some more summons here, as well as some, credits and stuff. Some more summons there. And then over here, you'll get some stamina refreshes, which is pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the bundles. And I don't really recommend buying any of these. They're kind of overpriced, not very good. For your items though, you got these things, these Afterglow Coral, right? So these Afterglow Coral, they'll um they'll allow you to purchase either uh a duplicate of characters, 5-star characters, right? Or you can even, if you're doing a 4-star only type thing, you can do that and get these 4 stars here. Um, or you can come in here and get these radiant or these forging ties. These forging ties are for weapon banners, and you'll be able to get some weapons if you pick these up and are able to summon with them. These radiant tides are for your characters, so every time a limited character come out, you're gonna be able to spend some of these to get some more summons so that you can summon for that character, right? Now for this is your top ups. Your top ups are quite overpriced in my opinion. You don't really want to spend too much money here. I mean, if you decide to spend money, then make sure you get just these bonuses right here, and you should be good to go. Otherwise, I don't really recommend spending too much money on all this. Um, Out here, we got these are our point shops, right? So the point shop, I believe this one is for your Tower of Adversity. And once you get to the Tower of Adversity, if you start clearing that, you'll get these special tokens. And what you can do with these special tokens is you'll be able to get, some EXP for either your resonator, your weapons, or which I think is the most important one, right? Is your advanced Echo XP item, right? So these ones are real good, and you're gonna want to pick these up whenever you can, bud. Also, these premium tuners are really good. You're gonna want to pick these up too. Um, these will help you out real well in the end game. So make sure, once you start clearing Tower of Adversity, you get in here and come in and do this. Now for your simulation training, right? So these are for the holograms that you're gonna see on the map. They're set up in specific locations. And once you get to these characters, or once you get to these holograms and you start baiting them, you're gonna start getting this currency here. And again, you can buy some summons, which is pretty good, and also some tuners. These tuners will actually become irrelevant once you get high enough. So don't recommend picking these up. But you do want to pick up these advanced seal tubes, right? These advanced seal tubes are for your Echo XP, and you're gonna need a ton of Echo XP. So picking these up is almost a guaranteed. Once this store becomes available to you, and you start clearing those holograms. Again, these ones right here, they will unlock after you get a certain amount of holograms complete. And also these premium tuners right here, you'll be able to get these as well, right? So make sure that once these things start unlocking, you start challenging them and seeing if you can beat them. And if not, maybe come back a little later when you're a bit stronger. Now, let's take a look at our summons. So when you first start the game, you will get a choice banner. This choice banner is not this one, right? I've already done my choice selection, but the first banner will be a 50 summon banner, and you summon on it 50 times and you'll get a 5-star character guaranteed, right? However, you don't get to choose which one it is, but you will get one at random. Now, after you complete that, you'll have this banner show up. Basically, what you can do is you can go ahead and click on any of these characters that you want, and you can summon for them with this currency right here, this lustrous tide. It's your blue one and not your gold one. So don't get too confused with that one. Now, once you summon on this character here and you get this character unlocked, no matter what poll it is, this banner will go away and you will no longer be able to choose a specific character that you want to summon on, right? Now, up next, we have our limited banners. And our limited banners, right now, we have Lin Yan. And I'm sorry, we have Jin Yan, right? So Jin Yan is going to be our first limited time character. He's pretty good. I got him on my main account, and he completely destroys the entire game. However, if you don't like him, don't like his design, I say don't summon on him, right? Only summon on characters that you think are really cool, and that will help you out in the long run. As far as this character being the first character in the game, he's probably gonna get power crept here in the next couple banners. So it's up to you if you want to pull him. I went ahead and did it, but uh, you know, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it, man. All right. Now, this right here, these weapon banners right here are absolutely amazing, right? So this weapon banner is for Jinyon, right? This is his exclusive weapon. However, these weapons can be put on any character and are extremely good. So I went ahead and got him on my main. I got Jinyon on my main account, right? And so I came in here and pulled on his Verdant Summit weapon, and it's real good. It's real good. I liked it. But the thing about these weapon banners is once you hit 80 summons, if you don't get the weapon, you will get it. There's no 50-50 on another weapon. And you'll always be guaranteed to get that weapon on the banner. So maybe summoning for weapons might be your thing. I know I enjoy summoning on weapons, especially with this system, because I really like getting these weapons. Now, this is going to be your standard banner. These characters are probably going to be in here forever. Again, it's going to take your illustrious tide. So once you have completed your choice banner as well as your beginner banner that guarantees you that 5 star at 50 summons, you're going to want to go ahead and just use your illustrious tide either here on this banner, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to start summoning on weapons, right? Because I want to get all these weapons good and maxed out and everything. So after I complete this banner up here, I'm going to go ahead and start summoning on weapons because I want to get all these cool weapons that are 5 star and real good. And you have quite a few options to do. The ones that I recommend probably are going to be this sword right here. This sword's real good. It adds crit rate, and that crit rate will help you do more damage. So getting that crit rate real good. This one's okay. Don't really recommend it, but you could get it if you need it. The other one I really like and that I recommend everybody get is gonna be this static mist. This static mist pistol is gonna be real good. That crit rate right there, it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you so much in this game. You're gonna love it. All right. So make sure when you get the chance to go ahead and pick up this static mist. All right. So that covers summons. We're going to go ahead and go into resonators now. Resonators are pretty unique. For this account, I'm going to go ahead and start leveling up Alto. For this account, I'm going to go free to play and really try out characters. And I ain't gonna try it on my main account because I know my main account is a little bit different. But for this free to play account, I'm gonna build characters that not a whole lot of people are gonna build, and I'm gonna test them out and see how far I can push them. However, so for these characters, let's go into our characters, right? So you got your main stats here. You got your character's name. Hey, this guy's name is Alto, right? So I kind of like the name. And he's an arrow element, which he'll be doing arrow damage, right? And then you got your HP, your attack, your defense, your energy regen, which is going to be pretty important. Crit rate super important, and also crit damage is going to be super important. So if you go ahead and click on this little button right here, I'm sorry, my head's in the way. But if you click on this button right here, it'll take you in here and it'll show you all the stats of your character. So some of the stats are hidden, like your resonant skill damage, your basic attack damage, your heavy attack bonus, etc., etc. You also have element specific damage that you can do. It's pretty interesting, the type of stuff you can come up with here. And then they also down here they got a healing bonus for your healers, which every healer should probably be using your healing bonus. It's real good. Um, and then down here you got your weapons. My Alto has a undying flame pistol. It's pretty decent. I'm still waiting on that static mist pistol, but until I get that, I'm going to go ahead and use this one. And if you click on this down here, you can switch, and it'll show you all the weapons that you can equip. I only recommend really upgrading 4-star weapons and 5-star weapons. Everything else might be a little bit of a waste. If it's the only thing you got, then yeah, upgrade a 3-star weapon that you find good. But 4-star and 5-star weapons are probably going to be what you going to get. What you want to get, right? So also, these all can have different stats on them. Like this one's got attack and attack percent down here. Some of them can have attack and crit rate or crit damage or et cetera. Energy regen, stuff like that. Um, so make sure you pay attention to what weapon you're equipping. Make sure you read the description and see how it works and what kind of bonuses you get, because it's really gonna help you if you understand what you are running, right? So let's go ahead and go into our echoes, right? So with our echoes, as you can see, I've already got quite a bit of echoes here. The first echo slot, the first echo slot here. Uh, Let me go ahead and move my camera right quick. This first echo slot we got here. This is going to be the echo that when you use the ability for the echo, it's going to appear uh on the game. You're either going to transform into it or you're going to summon it, right? And and it's going to do something cool for you. So like for this one, Chasm Guardian says the Echo skill is going to be transformed into a Chasm Guardian to perform a powerful strike that deals havoc damage. Lose some HP on hit and then recover HP over time. So this might be pretty decent for someone who likes being at low health or something. But there's plenty of different ones that you can use. Also, your echoes have different sets that you can run, right? So we have a frost set that is going to be really good for your frost characters. We have a molten set, which is going to be really good for your fusion characters, and you're going to want to build your fusion characters around this molten set. And then we have Void. So our Void Thunder is going to be really good with Electro characters, right? And then we got our Sierra Gale, right? And so the Sierra Gale is going to be real good for arrow damage type characters. And then we got Celestial Light, right? And our Celestial Light is going to be real good for spectro damage characters. And that's going to be good for them. And then uh we got sun sinking eclipse set, and that's gonna be real good for your havoc damage characters, right? And then we got a rejuvenation glow, right? And this rejuvenating glow, right? And this set right here is gonna be real good for your healing type characters, or maybe any character that heals, right? Um, And this is a pretty unique set. This one gives you energy regen. It's called Moonlit Clouds. And equipping this will give you more energy regen. And then a 5-piece set for this will give you, upon using an outro skill, increases attack of the next resonator, which could be pretty interesting for you, right? Um, and then this last set is a basic attack set, right? So with this set, it could probably be used universally on a lot of attacking type units, but I still think the element specific sets are going to be a lot better for a lot of your characters. So this might be a set you look into later on, but right now you might want to ignore it a little bit. All right. So we went over echoes. You have 5 of these that you can equip, and there's a cost to them, right? So the cost you got 4 cost ones, which I don't have any. But those are usually your boss echoes. These 3-star ones, I got quite a bit of those, right? And then you got your 1 cost echoes, right? And then your cost is located up here. It'll tell you right here. So I got 1 out of 10. So that means I can equip 10. I can equip echoes that add up to a cost of 10, right? But I'm only allowed to have 5. So you might want to look at different echoes, and figure out which ones you want to put on there. I know the current meta builds are going to be a 1-4 cost right here, 2-3 cost right in here, and then 1 and 1 cost in these two, right? And yeah, so that's gonna be the meta for the cost. But other than that, that's pretty much it for echoes. I'll be going over it a little bit more in depth a little later on, but that's pretty much it. Now, right here, you got your abilities, right? Let's see. Yeah. So once you come into here, let me go ahead and move my camera right back real quick. Uh, we'll go ahead and move it here, right? Now a little bit down. All right, right there. So up next here, we got our abilities, right? So we got our basic attack, our resonance skill, our forte circuit, our resident liberation, and then intro skill, intro skill. And if you ever want to figure out what your outro skill is, right? You're just gonna click on this little button right here. It's located right here. You're just gonna click on it, and it'll bring up your outro skill. And what your outro skill will do is once you have filled up the bar, and I'll show you here that in a minute once we get into the combat section. But once you fill up the bar, the outro skill, once you click on another character, will activate as you're switching into the other character, and it will perform whatever it says it does. And that's you can also upgrade all these. You need specific items here to go ahead and upgrade all these, right? So with all these, they're usually going to be the same, and then once you get into the higher, it's going to be a higher rarity, and you're going to want to craft these or farm them from something. But for the most part, a lot of people haven't maxed these out yet, so I wouldn't worry too much about them. You do want to put in upgrades to your main DPS, and that will help you quite a bit doing damage and stuff like that. Also, maybe a little bit into your healer as well. Uh, don't don't stress too much, but remember that these are part of the game, and you may want to build them up uh, for your main DPS as well as a few other characters you might be using. Now, here is your residence chain. The residence chain, basically, if you pull a duplication of a unit, like for Alto here, I got this Trickster's opening shot, which is this the cooldown of resonance skill shift trick is reduced by 4 seconds. So that makes my resonance skill cooldown a little bit shorter. That way I can spam it a little bit more. And each of these things, each of these resonance chains has a unique effect compared to them. So these are called wave bands. You'll pick these up as you summon multiple of the same character. Now, these resonance sequences here, you're going to go ahead and just slot them in whenever you get them. It's not really too big of a worry. You'll get them when you get them, but they do unlock extra stuff for that character, and it is pretty interesting once you get up into the higher uh, resident chain, right? And then down here we have experience. It'll show you all of his lore and stuff. And if you're curious about all this, you can go ahead and read it. I don't really care too much about the lore and stuff, but they got thoughts on. Shut the fuck up. Uh, they got voice lines and stuff in here, and they'll talk about their experiences and stuff, and they have thoughts and opinions on certain characters, and it's it's interesting if you're into it, but I'm not really too into it, so I don't really care. And then cherished items, it'll show you what items that they carry on them that they just absolutely love. So if you are a lore enthusiast, you'll be spending a lot of time down here in the information tab, right? Now we can go into teams, right? So with teams, you can have 5 different teams that you want to set up. However, I only recommend building about 1 or 2 as you start, and then once you get further on into the game and stuff, and time progresses, you start getting a lot more resources. Then you can start thinking about building 3 to 4 teams. I think 5 teams is a little bit too much, but you may want to. But as for right now, you don't really got to worry about it too much. Also, you can view their outro skills here. It'll tell you what every single one of them does, and that way you can put a team together that kind of synergizes well with each other, and that'll help you out quite a bit. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Now this right here. Let me go ahead. Uh, Let me go ahead and move my camera just a little bit. Uh, yeah. Let's go ahead and move my camera down. All right. All right. So for this one, right? This is called your Echo Data Bank, right? And basically, every time you kill an enemy and you find one of their little echoes laying around on the ground and pick it up, you're going to get experience towards your data bank, right? And as you grow in data bank, you'll get some more ass right? You got to make sure that you get all this ass right, all right? And then for a while you'll get some stamina, and this will give your overall stamina bar a little bit more. And then for a couple of them, you'll get some more stamina refreshes. So these are super important, not only because it'll increase the ability in which you can uh, get echoes. So like the drop chances will increase. Um, as I'm at level 6 right now, my base drop chance is at 15%, right? But it also increase your enhanced drops, which is your overlord or calamity type echoes. And these echoes are usually your boss echoes. So this will increase the drop chance of that, right? And then you'll also have 3 star, 2 star, and then once you get up into the higher tiers, you start getting 4 star, and then once you get to 15, I believe, you'll start getting into your 5 star relics. So it's super important to get down here into your 5 stars. You want to get to data bank level 15 as soon as possible. And we'll go ahead and release a video describing how to do that real quick. And it'll help you out a whole lot and really reduce the time that you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. All right. So we'll get into this a little bit later, but just remember that your Echo database is real important, right? And then in here, you can find the Echo Gallery, which is all the echoes that you've gone ahead and collected so far. And as you can see, until you start really exploring the world, you're going to have a bunch of these locked. But once you get all these unlocked, it'll be a lot easier to figure out where they are and what they are, right? And then over here, is the rarity. So your rarity 2 is going to be your greens. Your rarity 3 is going to be your blues. Your rarity 4 is going to be your epics, your purples. And then the rarity 5 is going to be your gold or legendary, right? And each of these have EXP attached to them. So once you start getting the higher relics, you'll go ahead and get more EXP for your data bank, and you'll be able to level it up real quick and start getting better rewards for farming, right? And then here is you can figure out what sets each of these monsters or whatever belong to, and it's a good way to kind of figure out what you need to kill in order to get these sets, and that'll help you farm quite a bit, right? So it's just very interesting. You're going to spend a lot of time here in your data bank, kind of figuring it out and getting it good. But we're going to go ahead and move on from here. But just know that this is a very important aspect of the game, and you will be spending quite a bit of time in here searching for stuff and looking for which monsters belong to which artifacts, right? The tutorials, if you ever forget how to do something or whatever for whatever reason, you can come back in here and go into the tutorials. It's got a bunch of stuff that'll tell you how to do stuff, or you can just wing it like I did, and go ahead and play and figure everything out as you go along. Up next, we got our guidebook. Your guidebook is super important. Let's go ahead and get into here. So as you progress through the game, you'll start unlocking more of these, right? But what you want to do is every time you unlock a new character or something, you'll come into here and you can play test these characters. You'll get some more ass right? And then you can get some level up material for them. See, this is a material used for Resonator Ascension, right? So you can use that and you know, go ahead and get in here. And this is free currency for you to be able to summon. This ass right is really important, and you want as much of it as you can. So make sure when you get your guidebook to come in here and all them characters that you've collected so far, run the trials and figure out how them characters work, and then move on, right? And then your basic training, this will teach you how to dodge and your outro skill. It's pretty basic stuff, but make sure you come in here. It'll get you some more ass right, which will help you out. And it'll get you some Resonator EXP, which will help you out, as well as some shell credits. And then down here we have our list of enemies that we have found, and we can go ahead and see what they drop and stuff like that. So if you're ever looking for, some of these drops, you can come in here and look. It looks like a lot of them drop quite a bit of the same thing. So as long as you're farming, you should probably never run out of any of these materials. All right, up next we have our quest. You can go ahead and figure out what quest you need to complete as you're completing the main story quest or the MSQ. You're going to come in here, you're going to do your MSQ or main story quest, get those completed, and at a certain point, it'll tell you to stop, right? But so once you hit that point, you're going to go ahead and start knocking out all these side quests, as well as going around the map, exploring and unlocking chests and solving puzzles and all that good stuff. They have assortments right here to where you can sort out your quest and figure out which quest is which. But it'll tell you right here, right above them, if it's a side quest or if it's a main story quest. And make sure that you're progressing your main chapter as much as you can, and then also go on with your side quests and getting them unlocked and doing those. These give you good rewards. You'll get some more ass right. Make sure you get your ass right, and then you'll get all of those as well as some of this Union EXP, which will help you increase your world level and get you more and better drops. So make sure you're getting in here and getting all this done. It'll really help you out quite a bit. Remember to do your main story quest first because they're just going to give you the most EXP. And then once you are at a stopping point, you're going to want to go ahead and start knocking out your side quests. Those are going to be really important, especially towards the end of the game. Now, up next, this is where you can enter in your friends or accept friend invites and stuff like that. If you ain't got no friends, don't worry about it. This game's pretty single player friendly. So you go ahead and add friends if you want. If you ain't got them, don't even worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Uh, Over here, we got some real important stuff. This is going to be your trophies. And basically, once you start completing all these trophies, which are like achievements in many ways, right? You're going to come in here and it'll give you some more ass right. And remember, you make sure you want to get your ass right, right? You want to make sure you get it because it's super important for you to be summoning on characters that are going to help your account progress super strong, right? So make sure you're getting in here and you're getting your ass right stuff, all right? Uh, and a lot of these are attached to either quests or defeating so many enemies or, a bunch of stuff, man. So make sure you're getting in here, figuring out what you need. You'll unlock a bunch as you continue to play the game. Just make sure that you know that this is here. And when you start unlocking stuff, you'll start getting a lot more ass right to help you summon on more characters. For the gallery, we got sceneries. You can find these around the map, and it'll give you a good scenic picture of that area. It's pretty interesting. And if you do like backgrounds and stuff, you'll be able to find these once you start exploring the map and stuff. It's got some pretty good scenic scenes. So uh, I do like this, but it doesn't really offer too much except for that. As far as the main story, it'll go ahead and tell you what you've done in the main story, kind of give you a recall of what you have been doing, um, and it's pretty interesting. But it don't really do too much except for kind of recap the story a little bit. Maybe if you take a break and you forgot a little bit, it might give you a little refresher. But as far as that's concerned, they don't really matter too much. Over here we got our map, right? So you click on your map, it'll give you a bunch of stuff that you can go do, a bunch of unlocks. You can look at your map, see where you're at, see where you need to go. It's pretty interesting. It'll also tell you if you have stuff that you need to turn in. So if I went ahead and clicked on that, it would tell me I got stuff to turn in down here. I could go down there and turn it in right now if I wanted to. Or if I wanted to turn in that, I could go over there, turn it in right now if I wanted to, but I don't. So, yeah, that's the map. There's some pretty interesting stuff. You can put down your own custom markers, and kind of figure it out from there. Um, and then if you click on these things, once you have unlocked them, you can fast travel to them. It's really interesting stuff. These bigger ones right here, these ones will heal your characters. So if you're not running a healer on your team for whatever reason, you go ahead and click on that and fast travel to it, and it'll heal your characters right up. Also, if you see one out in the open world as you're running by, make sure you unlock it, and then you can use it whenever you want. Uh, for backpack, we got a bunch of stuff in here, so you can come in here and look around and see all the weapons you got, kind of figure out who they're equipped to up here. Um, and that's for the weapon section. Down here is to view your echoes. So if you want to look at your echoes for whatever reason and kind of what? Yeah, yeah, I'm getting on it. All right. Uh, yeah. So this is your echoes. You can look at all your echoes and stuff. Down here we got supplies. This is like your medical supplies that you can use to heal up or revive your uh members of your party. And you can also craft these too. We'll get into that in a little bit. Um, Here's your development material. So you got your right here, you got your premium tuners, right? I told you these are real important. You want to make sure you get as much of these as you can. Also, these advanced steel tubes, right? You want to get as many of these as you can. Uh and yeah, this will kind of just, show you what you got, I mean, you can come down here and this will show you all the plants and lizards and ores and stuff that you've collected over time. So this is real important when you start getting into cooking. Down here is kind of your main story key items type thing. So once you get these, they'll be stored in here and you can kind of look at them and it'll give you a little bit of research stuff going on. And then down here, it'll tell you how many summons you got, as well as how many of these afterglow coral. Those will be in there, and then your stamina refreshes will be in here as well. And these osculate coral will be down here. Wood texture shards will be in here. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Make sure that you come in here and you're paying attention to what you got. If you think you're missing something, come in here and look. Make sure you got it right. Up next, we got utilities. These will be some of your interesting stuff that you'll unlock throughout the game. This will be like your quick travel grapple that you get, kind of like that wire bug in Monster Hunter. Then you got your sensor, which will help you discover things. This is really helpful for when you are trying to solve puzzles and you really don't understand what's going on. Use your sensor; it'll help you out almost 99% of the time. Your levitator, which will help you move movable objects for puzzles and stuff like that. Your projector, Your projector will allow you to display your current lead echo, like the one that you're using for the ability to attack. It'll display that for you in case you want to show off to one of your friends or something. You can do that. Uh, Feedback, I ain't really touched it. I don't really think it's too important. You might be able to come in here and leave some feedback uh for Coro games, and they'll be able to help you out a little bit. But for the most part, I ain't used it. So yeah, we've gone over our terminal, which is this main screen right here. We've gone over much of this. You should have a basic understanding of everything that's going on in here at this point. And now we can move on to some stuff like combat. All right, let's go ahead and move into combat. All right, so the combat in this game is real fun. It's probably the most enjoyable combat I've seen in a minute in quite a few games. I'm a big Devil May Cry fan as well as fighting game fan, and I feel like this has a real good mixture of a couple different games to it, and I'm really enjoying the combat. Let's get into the combat right. So down here, you're gonna have your concerto energy, and basically what this will do is it will fill up, and then once it's filled up, when you switch to another character, your character will activate their outro skill, and the new character will activate their intro skill, which will give either a damage boost, damage buff, or cause damage. So make sure before you switch, you are getting this concerto energy up. And the way you build this is through attacking, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and start lighting these little puffer fish boys up, and we're gonna hit them good, right? And it's gonna build up, it's gonna build up, it's gonna build up, and then let's go ahead and fight another pack real quick. I'm pretty sure there's something else over here. All right, I found an idiot bear that we're gonna go ahead to use. We're gonna go ahead and use to show this concerto energy when it's maxed, right? All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started here, right? So once my concerto energy gets maxed, now now my characters over here are shining, right? You can see them shining. And if I go ahead and switch, she will activate her out intro skill. He will activate his outro skill, and they will switch places. And then you're going to want to go ahead and repeat again, right? And then once that happens, you can go ahead and keep doing that. But it is super important. But it is super important for you to understand that when your concerto energy gets maxed, that you might want to switch depending on the situation. But most of the time, you want to switch to get your intro, outro buffs and skills moving and going, right? All right. Up next, I want to show you guys this little bar down here, which is called your residence skill. And this is your residence skill energy. Your E ability is your residence skill. And this bar down here is your residence skill energy, right? And once this gets filled up, you're going to want to go ahead and activate it. Now, each character has its own specific activation requirements for their resident skill. So you're going to want to pay attention to what skill and stuff that you are activating and how it activates and the requirements for all of that. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. And let's go ahead and demonstrate my resident skill and resident skill energy. So my resident skill here is going to be my E, right? So he's going to perform his move, right? And it's going to do its thing. And then uh, oh, and then if I go ahead and activate it by flying through here, it will activate the resident skill energy, and it will go back down to 0. And then I got to build it back up again, right? And then I build it back up again. I can use it again. And there we go. Right. So that is your resident skill and your resident skill energy. Hopefully that makes sense. You're going to have to try it out on a bunch of different characters. They all have specific requirements on how to activate them and stuff, but it should be pretty easy to understand once you start learning. Once you start learning the characters, right? All right. Up next, I want to show you guys about your resident liberation or your ultimate ability. These are pretty interesting. Each one does its own specific thing, but it's going to be your aura ability, and basically, I'm going to show you kind of how it is. Each character has their own little intro and stuff, so that is altos right there, right? And then I can go ahead and shoot through that, and it'll perform more damage for me. Now, that's going to be your Resonance Liberation. Again, every character is a little bit different. Some characters transform or get a buff or something. On some characters, go ahead and do their ultimate attack, right? So it just depends on the character. They're all a little bit different, but it's going to be attached to your R ability, and you're going to have to build that up as you're fighting with that character. So pretty interesting stuff, and you'll figure it out a little bit as you get used to your characters and start playing. All right. Now, another thing I want to go over is a heavy attack. For gun wielding people, it's going to go ahead and put you into like a third person shooter mode, and you can go ahead and shoot from there. For a sword user or a melee user, you're going to perform a heavy attack, and it's going to look a little bit different. Like that was her heavy attack right there, and this is her normal attack, right? So they're a little bit different, man. So heavy attacks do a little bit different animation, a little bit different damage and stuff like that. But each character has its own heavy damage, as well as heavy attack style. So make sure that you're paying attention to what your character does uh, and how their heavy attack works. But you're just gonna hold down your main attack button, and it should activate for you. Um, all right. So before we go, I want to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a recap. I know it's a lot of information, but it is all super important for you to get a good understanding of the game. So let's go ahead and let's review, right? So you got your events. You want to make sure you come in here, do your event. You have your guidebook or your path to growth. You want to make sure you come in here, get this done. You want to go and do your echo hunting. Make sure you unlock all these echoes and get all this stuff done. Um, and then we also have your summons. Make sure you get your initial summons done if you are going to get them done. And then go ahead and save all your ass right until there's a character that comes out that you really, really want, or a weapon that comes out that you really, really want. Other than that, I don't really recommend it. A lot of these characters in the game that we have currently can clear the content that we need. Just find your favorite one, build them, and you shouldn't have too much of a problem, right? And then, make sure you are understanding your resonators. Make sure you are building your resonators exactly how they're supposed to be built. Make sure you're upgrading your weapons. Make sure you are upgrading your echoes. And make sure you are upgrading your character skills. Very, very important, right? So that goes over characters again. And then the last thing I want to talk about here is going to be your Tower of Adversary points, as well as your simulation training store. Make sure that once you get to that part in the game, that you are trying to complete it and trying to complete as much of it as you can. It will help you out a ton. So make sure you're getting in there and doing it, and make sure you're spending this currency on things that you need. Because if not, you're going to be losing out on a bunch of rewards that you can get. Other than that, man, I really appreciate you guys watching the video. If you did enjoy the content, man, make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one, man. Make sure that you are continuing to grind and getting it all done, man. I really appreciate y'all. Catch you in the next one. Yep.